Reacting to devices that are acting suspiciously on the network can take time and resources without using some form of automation. Yes, automation tools exist, but the integration of these tools and the rollout involves steep learning curve and again more time and resources. When devices are generating these logs of interest, these could be early indicators for potential breach or indeed part of a pen test. I will demonstrate in this video how we can use the built-in tools on PanOS to catch these early indicators and react immediately. I would like you to review this video and use it as food for thought and see how you could leverage this approach in your own environments. By doing this, I am certain you will improve the security of your environments and make the policy smarter with this dynamic approach. My name is Robert Dunhu and I hope you enjoy this video. Now I'm going to start here which is the log forwarding section of the Palo Alto Networks firewall, and within here we can do very granular filters, and I've specified a fairly granular filter here. It says if you try to contact this 10.10.16.1 address over 443, destination port 443, I want to dynamically tag your source address for a timeout period of 10 minutes. And I want to add you to this dynamic address group called TCP scan tag. So if I jump out of that there, that's the add tag. The same as we can add a tag using a particular log of interest, we can remove a tag. Now, the sky's the limit really on what we can use to add the tag in here. They're the other log entries that we can use, and we can, any logs that can be generated within those logs, we can use that as a way to add a tag or remove a tag. So let's look at the address group that is referencing this. So underneath my address groups, it's going to be type dynamic. And indeed it is, it's type dynamic. It's referencing the tag that we called out in the log forwarding profile. And I've just referenced that same tag down below in here. But this is the kind of important match criteria here. Now, before you end up in this dynamic address group, your traffic is matching the standard policies. So let's just look at the policies here. So before ending up in this dynamic address group, your traffic from LAN to management in this case is hitting the security policy that's referenced 19. So we operate top down in the security policies. We're hitting the 19th policy in the standard flow between LAN to management. That is referencing the log forwarding profile that we referenced a few moments ago. So if I end up in the group, what's going to happen is I am going to hit a different policy effectively. So if I go to my demo DAG policy, I can see the dynamic address group is now referenced in the source address field, and I'm going to have a different set of a different security profile group attached to it. Now this different security profile group is going to have a set of actions, but we'll see what they are in a moment. But you can see the reference there is 8, so it has a higher precedence security policy, so it's going to get evaluated first. So let's just look at the security profile group that it's going to hit on security policy number 8. It's referencing this, and I'm going to jump straight into this TCP scan URL filtering profile. Within here, I have set a completely different set of actions. So where the standard user's traffic is hitting this URL profile here, a certain amount of alert categories, certain block categories, etc., etc. It has no override categories you will see here. But you see on the TCP scan one, I've set all the actions to override. All 90 categories have been set to override. So what's going to happen here is if you try to contact a particular IP of interest, you're going to end up in a dynamic address group, and then all of your web-based traffic is going to be hit with an override block page. And unless you have the password for that override block page, you're going to be hit with an override block action for all web-based traffic. So that is the setup on the firewall. We're going to trigger this now on the test device and just see what logs get generated. So I've triggered some logs of interest, namely contacting this particular IP address over destination port 443. So I've met the condition set out in my log forwarding profile to add this source address into a dynamic address group. This source address being the 192.168.22.90. So if I click on this address, and just filter out what traffic so it's going to be hitting. So you can see that I'm starting my users, or this source address traffic is starting to hit the demo DAG security policy, and within that demo DAG security policy, we had these different set of actions associated with it, which was the block override. And if I just fold this menu up on the side, you will see now that any URLs that this source address tries to go to will just be hit with this block override page, and until they enter the correct password, it's just going to be blocked basically. So that's a demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. If there are any questions or follow-ups, do let me know. Thank you for watching.